Welcome to the games I'd rather spend a Yote $70 on. Part 1, The Sleeping Dogs. Spoiler, there's no dogs in this game, but you can sleep. And it only cost me $5 because it was on sale and it's an old ass game. Cue the detective music. The year is 2012 in virtual Hong Kong. It was raining. A hard rain. The kind of rain that would wash the muck up to the surface. A hard muck. The kind of muck that would make the skin crawl on a man. A hard man. The kind of man that would rather play this 13-year-old game for the first time instead of the overglazed, over-marketed fanfic copy-paste of a sequel that brought all the tourists out of the woodwork. Sleeping Dogs comes from a different time in video games. The time before Grand Theft Auto 5. I love the Grand Theft Auto recipe. Drive cars in a lived-in open-world city with dense NPCs. The epitome of freedom. Unlike the horse, the car doesn't control with legs and the analog stick. You accelerate and turn and brake and handbrake and manage speed in the corners, avoid obstacles and target NPCs. You try to drift and race. There's a reason why there's a surplus of open-world racing on driving-based games. It's the same reason why there's so many truck driving simulators and like 7 horse simulators. Driving in game is more mentally engaging than riding a horse unless we're talking Red Dead 2. But you get the Iron Horse in GTA. From 3 to the trailer of 6, Grand Theft Auto will always be the greatest game series of all time to the most amount of people. The main course in any full course of gourmet gaming is any GTA. It took Rockstar 5 years to develop GTA 5 from 4. The same amount of time between Ghost of Tsushima and its copy-paste sequel that's basically the same. Hell, before that I played San Andreas and Vice City for over 10 years. The PS2 carried me far because the PS3 hit its stride too late into its life cycle, but what a stride it hit. Assassin's Creed was at the highest it'll ever be during the PS3 and the last one that held my interest. It's still better at its own recipe, but too many games copied the recipe that would follow Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the Odyssey recipe, and the novelty is long worn off by now. After The Witcher and Red Dead 2, after Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima, this is a recipe I grow tired of. But if there was a recipe I wouldn't tire of, it would be the Grand Theft Auto recipe. And one of the best clones that slipped under the radar, perhaps dwarfed by GTA V, maybe taken for granted because of 4, was Sleeping Dogs. If the writing of today's only pushes in your face feels hollow for your taste, then you're in for a tale. Cause just describing the plot of Sleeping Dogs has so much more depth than a fanfic turned sequel, and this just may be the result of the setting itself. Like all GTA clones, stories set in urban environments have more potential and even more for replayability. The kind of stories that can intertwine with the world building, have layers beyond the hollow revenge story. Thanks to the density of the world, the NPCs on the streets living life, the game can tell its own stories without you having to play the main story. Organized crime is complicated. It's difficult to gain power in a city's worth of people to rise above illegally as opposed to historical times. Resorting to crime is complicated. Not all criminals are evil. Some are just breaking the law to survive. And organized crime appeals to your lack of wealth because they wear the best, they drive the best, and they're Robin Hood. But in these stories, there's room for redemption, elation, loss, pain, fury. Metal Gear Solid 3. Sleeping Dogs has the kind of writing that can only work with the intricacies of organized crime in a network of a cluster city. Set in Hong Kong, you play as Whey Protein Shen, a thug kid who left for America on his mama's beckon to try to save his sister from the demon she faced in her drug addictions. It's mostly hinted at, but this is where he becomes a cop, somehow chooses a life of reform, perhaps motivated by her loss, and returns to Hong Kong on an undercover mission to take out the highest level threat to that region, the Sun On Yee. Infiltrating their ranks with a childhood friend at the foot soldier level, Wei Shen starts off in the story as lawful good, determined to prove himself as a cop and redeem himself of his past by converting it to experience. But he's as skilled as a thug as he is determined as a cop, and he quickly becomes a trusted member of the small faction of the Triad. In this introduction, you get a feel for a less intricate but far more satisfying fighting system than True Crime New York City, whilst retaining a lot of that DNA, which which makes sense when you know it was initially meant to be True Crime Hong Kong until Activision cancelled it and it was acquired by Square Enix. And when I see Square Enix, I usually think good character designs, terrible English dubs. But due to authentic castings and a combination of Cantonese and English being used in the dialogues working in tandem with superb writing, the acting and script work was excellent even by today's standards. Unfortunately, writing was very good at the time. Even Assassin's Creed had great voice acting. We weren't short on English or Western dialogue being amazing, let alone just non-cringy. But today, this kind of story wouldn't exist. Dog Eyes and Way would get married or some other shit. Some of the controls haven't aged as well as the story, but they're still lacking in games of today. The action hijack first is an unexplored, underappreciated game mechanic, which I am personally hoping will make an appearance in GTA 6. Coupled with the mid-air slow-mo shooting, it's a dream mechanic come true. Far from gimmicky, this has its uses. No longer shall we try to sprint after a car to steal it. Steal another car and drive up to jump across without having to slow down. It's rough, it's expressed through very old gameplay, but it's still something we need more of. If only they made more GTA clones. The over-the-top movesets elevate what this game is trying to be, and that's a Hong Kong vice cop crime story with creative cinematography and epic kung fu. But the driving takes some adjusting. This is still the PS3, so cars felt lighter back then. It's very twitchy and difficult to find a solid line the first playthrough, so I found it really hard to keep the car clean without focusing. Whatever you do, just don't use the drift button during missions or you mess your cop car up. There was less spectacle in the drifting, but it's still an engaging way to get around. But the camera on the vehicles, man, is too fixed and it looks down. I want to see the glorious city that you're trying to bring to life, not stare at the road, but it's still a more engaging traversal system than the horse. It's fun because of the city. This city that had the advantage of covering up its own lack of draw distance with towering buildings framing each area, but this just makes me crave a reboot, cause the heights of the towering Tetris stacks that is this Hong Kong, the neon lights hanging in the night market, this game but with the scale and look like Cyberpunk would be incredible. But if you go on foot and hold L2 on the PlayStation and take it slow and zoom into NPCs on the balconies or listen to the chatter in the night market, enjoy free roaming downtown or take a boat off the bayside. This is how the GTA formula is one that keeps on giving because it writes its own sub-stories without set pieces. Don't worry guys, the paramedics are here. Everything's gonna be... Oh, they're dead. Oh, they... Oh! Don't worry guys, the paramedics were already here. The paramedics were all... there's another ambulance has come for the dead paramedic and this guy is gonna get back into his ambulance. Okay, never mind. Oh, are we leaving everybody in the street, I guess. Good job, guys. You can people watch all day in these games. When you exit your north side apartment or visit the club or bump into eating NPCs or look at the ones in the balconies or notice the malfunctioning ones or the guys smoking on the floor. But what you really want to do is whoop some ass. Combat is engaging. It's that Arkham formula, but this is where it works. This is far more intricate than anything Grand Theft Auto or even Red Dead has offered. This is more in-depth than Lincoln Clay's ill-equipped melee arsenal. Grapple your enemies and use the environment by grabbing them by the head and running the Tassaful in the trunk and drive it off the harbor, or just grab them and run up the stairs and drown them with environmental attacks. This game plays like a dragon, but with GTA. It's about choosing which finisher you want to do at the end, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 with the spinning kick. You can wall run and jump off into a jump kick. You could break bones. You'll get full Nelson and have that kick in front of you before breaking out. You'll get to use car doors to flatten enemies' heads or throw them in the trash, over railings, inner walls. And the hand-to-hand combat goes on for so long you're not even sure there's gonna be gunplay.
Skill level with girls, very good. Now time to assess your skill level.
But then the bullet time comes in, and next minute you're popping tires at a distance and watching the cars flip and explode in high-intensity action sequences that get pretty intense. The gunplay is pretty intelligent. Instead of giving you an accurate blind fire, it's designed to merge movement and accuracy so you don't get caught in the reload. The bullet time vault is the carrot on the gameplay stick for you to push forward from cover and keep moving through the level, all whilst John Wooing the fuck out of the their enemies. Each headshot extends the duration of your bullet time, letting you have those moments like Deadeye and Red Dead, but in a way that's like Bomb Rush and encourages you to keep moving the unspectacle. It's not about going from A to B, then B's where the game happens. It's about the journey from A to B with A and B happening. So shooting and moving up through the level, bouncing under peeking enemies in slow-mo, and even drive-by shooting is fun. And the bullet spread is very forgiving. I was popping tires at such a distance, I almost believed I was good at shooting games, and I'm not. But why stop there? Use your vehicle as the weapon and smash into enemies and enemy cars with a timed ram, or dodge obstacles with a late swerve. The action, combat, driving, and shooting are must-haves in GTA clones, and Sleeping Dogs brings a better melee system to the party, fun shooting, and fairly decent driving. As you drive, fight, shoot, and parkour your way deep undercover, Way starts to visibly be torn between remaining an integral policeman and attachment and loyalty to his boys, who he's technically sworn to betray at the same time as he's sworn his loyalty to them. And oaths mean something to people like this. Integral, honorable people, even criminals, admire those who keep to their word, because it's just as rare as it is in daily life, but far more valuable. Guilt eats away at his psyche and breaks his sleep. As things progress, you find yourself wrapped up in the upper politics of the Sun on You triad, wrapped up in extortion, drugs, smuggling, gambling, racing, all the way to filmmaking, music publishing, pornography, and prostitution. Way grew up with some of these people and knows their nature beyond the black and white lines of the law, and you play within this gray zone, which is the realm of the undercover cop. And to look the part, you gotta use the RPG elements to stylize your experience. Clothing, cars, cosmetic extras for your safe houses, the safe houses itself. You unlock higher tier stuff as your face increases, but I haven't found any evidence of gun customizations, nor is there any evidence of car customizations. You can enter some buildings, but there's very little verticality. Sleeping Dogs in 2025 feels like an idea that was trying to scratch the surface, hoping a sequel and a better console would be able to dive deeper. If only there was a console that boasted the specs to utilize the full potential of an urban open world crime. Oh wait, there is one, but all they do is make that same fucking game. I shouldn't have to be making a video on a 13-year-old game just cause I craved good writing in a video game and a recipe that used to be oversaturated in the best ways, but the GTA clone is on its last legs. And maybe for the best, we are in the era of the creatively bankrupt AAA. Everything but the graphics has gone down in quality from something like Sleeping Dogs. But it ain't all that bad. A few modern releases recaptured some magic. Mafia 3 was decent, a politically inspired world, but not a politically motivated story. Cyberpunk 2077 with its rough start is the last great GTA clone, but it's a first-person RPG. Watch Dogs 2 was alright, but Legion fell short. Saints Row as a franchise is done. Mind's Eye more like blink of an eye. This is the map for Mafia, and we get so many disappointments. Standards for gaming has dropped. Playing Sleeping Dogs in 2025 for the first time makes me hate Grand Theft Auto 5. Not because it's better in every way, it isn't, but because it's what could have been, what should have been, if only developers weren't too scared to even partially compete with the GTA name. It all rides on Grand Theft Auto 6 for the recipe, but I wish it didn't have to. I really wish we could get another Sleeping Dogs or even a true crime series reboot. It's high octane, flashy, deep, and replayable even today. And thanks to it being old as shit and on sale, I still got $65 from not buying Yote left for other games. Don't buy trash games, kids.